All right, next we have Ross Clanton from Verizon. Ross.
All right, thank you. Good, I have a timer too. All right, so everyone's probably wondering why is Verizon up here sponsoring, and I will get to that in just a minute. But before I go there, I just want to say how much of a treat it is that you guys got to see Adam Jacob. He's actually one of my favorite DevOps speakers, and I hadn't seen him live in a couple years. And one thing, I saw him 4 or 5 years ago at Velocity when I was really getting into kind of DevOps transformation. And he had a definition for DevOps then that he said that the talk was called How to Win Computers and Influence Reality, which had nothing to do with what the talk was about. But the definition for DevOps he shared was that it's a cultural and professional movement. And that resonated with me a lot. It's actually resonated with me through 2 different enterprise DevOps transformations that I've been involved in. And it's kind of been core to how I think about driving these types of transformations. And the reason I say that is the reason Verizon is here and our beliefs around this are to drive a cultural and professional movement, it requires community and investment and actually building a strong movement. And companies like Capital One, who's very active in the DevOps community, who's sponsoring this event today, like Verizon, like many other enterprises that can put resources and effort and people towards advancing learning and things that we're doing inside our enterprises and sharing, that drives the movement, that helps drive it across the industry. So that's kind of why we're here. We've got a few minutes. I just want to share a little bit about what we're doing around our own internal DevOps transformation and some things that we're happy to share with the community and things we'd love to learn from you all about as well. So yes, it's an adapt or die moment for all of us. That's why we're here. There's really 4 kind of pillars to our DevOps transformation at Verizon. First is around technology excellence. So that's getting to the public cloud, that's getting all the right tooling, platforms, et cetera, in place. Getting to these teams that Adam was talking about, these kind of empowered, cross-functional, full-stack teams that own their outcome, and how do we drive that change across thousands and thousands of people. Dojos, which has been an increasingly popular model to drive coaching, learning, immersion, and actually helping teams learn all of these new practices and tools. There's more companies in the industry that have been starting to run these dojo models. We're doing 5 dojos initially here at Verizon over the next year or so, and then we're going to scale out even more globally. Happy to share some of that. I've already been talking to folks this morning about that model. And then most importantly is how do you actually build that culture and foster a culture that sustains these types of changes inside of an enterprise, which is really, really hard work to do. You can follow our hashtag DevOpsVZ, and you can kind of see the chronology of the culture changes and things that we've been going through as a company. I encourage you guys to go on Twitter and check that out. Real quick on how do you approach driving that large-scale culture change. So first, these things are really important, these DevOps Day conferences. I love going to these. You build a strong community, both locally in the region that we're in, and it helps to build a stronger community nationally and globally over time as well. But they're really important. You can do these inside your companies too. And at Verizon, we've actually run 3 of these events now this year. We've had almost 6,000 people attend across the 3 events that we've done. We've got lots and lots of people in technology. But it allows you to build that internal community inside your company where people are sharing with each other and teams that are starting to advance on these things can start to connect. And you can also start to insert people from the external community and thought leaders that we all see here today can come in and really kind of strengthen that community inside your company. The dojos I already kind of talked about. We've got 3 open right now. We're planning to go global with those this year. It's a fun model to drive learning and kind of an immersive way for people to learn skills and practices as it relates to DevOps and Agile and cloud. And then finally, something that I didn't have exposure to in the previous transformation I was involved in, but we've been doing at Verizon, which I think is really creative, is we run what we call a DevOps Cup. And it's actually a way for teams to compete on how they're building maturity on their DevOps practices and kind of skills. And we've gamified it, so there's like a leaderboard, and it culminates with a team winning a cup at the end of the year that we bring in external judges, and they get to showcase the cup. It kind of looks like a Stanley Cup. It's a fun way to kind of, again, strengthen community, strengthen culture, drive learning, and kind of move the whole organization forward. And finally, we're getting involved in the external community. So the reason we're here is the places where Verizon has a large presence, we want to be stronger in those communities and help influence the community. So we're sponsoring these types of DevOps Days events, serverless conferences, AWS reInvent, and other events like that. Please come and talk to us if you're doing things like that and you want to share kind of war stories and we can help each other kind of move things forward. Please come talk to us at the booth. Thank you.